what's up? My name is Lauren Danielle. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, make sure to subscribe down below and become a part of our family. So today is my second, besides my pregnancy announcement, video related to this pregnancy. If you didn't know or haven't seen my pregnancy announcement, I'll leave it linked down below. But I am currently 13 weeks and I get the days are a little mixed up. I was way better at this. My first pregnancy, second pregnancy has flown by so fast. It's crazy. I am 13 weeks and 3 days currently as I'm filming this. Y'all might see this a couple of days later, prior before. Anyways, y'all might see this a couple of days later. I'm 13 weeks and some change. So before I get into all my pregnancy updates and whatnot, I did want to tell y'all how I found out I was pregnant, how I told my parents, and the whole 9 yards. I real quickly just wanted to talk about two things. I did not want to share earlier than 12 weeks, just because if you didn't know, before I had a miscarriage back in October, and I went ahead and told all of my parents, or our parents, me and Mason's parents, then pretty early on, and ended up having a miscarriage and just had to go through that. So if for some reason this was to occur again, I wanted it to be just me and my fiance that knew about the pregnancy, so it was less stress to deal with. So that's why I didn't come out until I was 12 weeks to everyone. I did it a little bit earlier. You're supposed to get out of the first trimester officially, or you can do it whenever you want actually. But I wanted to do it on Mother's Day. So that's what happened. That's that. The second thing is I wanted to film so badly just because I loved watching people's reactions, live reactions on camera. It's one of my favorite videos to watch on here on YouTube. However, you're going to see in the story time that I did not know I was pregnant. I wasn't having any symptoms. We'll get to all that in a second. So there's no actual way I guess I could have filmed Mason's reaction, but I'm not a person that can wait. I wanted it to be something we do together because I can't wait and then tell him. He would see it all over my face. And then secondly, my parents, they know I do YouTube, of course, but it's not something that I could easily just take out a camera and sit down or whatever, and they would kind of be like, WTF, Lauren? So I feel like that would have gave it away, or definitely, I don't know. My mom would be like thinking all in her head, what the heck is she about to tell me, bring out a camera? I'm not really sure if my parents would have want their whatever, way off topic. I just didn't get people's reactions like I wanted to, like I hopefully can be able to do one day, and like I enjoy watching, and I'm sure most of you guys do too. But I guess let's jump into the actual story time. So I did not, like I said, I was not having any symptoms or nothing, which was so different from my last 2 pregnancies because I had every symptom in the book. My first one and second one, my boobs were hurting, I was just kind of tired, and I was nauseous at night, and this, I had no symptoms whatsoever. And 2 things, I was taking regular pregnancy tests. I haven't been on birth control in about a year, over a year now. So just because we are not on birth control, we're not doing what you should be doing to prevent a baby. So we weren't necessarily trying, but we weren't preventing either. So a baby is expected outcome. We already have one, so we know what to expect. We just kind of didn't care if it happened. If it happened, hey. If it didn't, that's cool too. But it ended up happening. We're both really happy. But back on track, Lauren. So so I was just taking regular pregnancy tests because my period is so irregular. I can never base it off my period, and that's actually, I'm getting off topic. Let me just stop. Regular pregnancy tests every month or so, and then on top of that, something told me, I guess it was just like my mommy's intuition like really kicking in already, but I got into like a bad habit of smoking these little jewels, and I was going on my lunch break to like buy some pods or whatever, and I was like, let me just, since I'm needing to go take a pregnancy test, this just falls into the pattern of taking it this week, let me just go ahead and buy that first and take that first just in case. Keep in mind, I did not think I was pregnant at all. You got to know that going into it. So I went to Target, bought the cheapest test, the little Target up and up brand, and it was the faintest upon faintest lines. I took it in Target. I found faintest lines, and when I immediately got that faint line, I was immediately scared because that's what happened in my miscarriage. And I immediately called Mason and told him what was going on, and he was like, it's okay, we'll wait a few days, get it tested again, and go back to blood work. He was just really reassuring and like telling me not to think bad thoughts, that everything's going to be okay, that, you know, it might be a false positive, whatever, but just think that before you think anything bad. So again, after 2 days, I tested again, and it still got a little darker, but it still wasn't, it was getting darker, but it wasn't still very faint. So I went ahead and called my doctor then, and she actually ordered blood work tests for me that day, and I went and took that, and that took about 2 days to come in, and that was a Friday when it came in. And she called me and she told me, Lauren, your blood work test came back negative. You don't have any HCC in your levels. And I was really confused because at that time I was still taking a digital test that morning just to make sure that it was going up. And the digital test came back pregnant. And so I was just really confused, and I was like, well, I've been taking digital tests now. And she was like, well, it could be a faint positive, but just in case, to get you some reassurance, we'll go ahead and take you back Monday. So come back Monday, and by that time it'll double. So Sunday before I was supposed to go get my blood work retested, I was just cramping a little bit and just having a really uneasy feeling, and I just rather have known than went a whole day. I didn't know if I could necessarily do something that early about a miscarriage. I didn't want to go through that again. So I ended up actually going to the ER and waiting in there forever, but they finally told me that my levels were at 200 and something. So I'm not sure how. She was very adamant and confused as to how they completely missed the levels completely, or if they even did, or if they were just low and they kind of lied to me just because they didn't want me to freak out. But she's like, yes, you're definitely pregnant. Your levels are at 200, and the kind of cramping that I was describing to her sounded like my uterus just stretching, and she was just reassured me that nothing was wrong, that this is a normal early pregnancy, and you're probably about 4 weeks. And then the next day I went and had my blood work tested from my doctor, and it went up to 300. And it just, honestly, I went every 2 days for about 2 weeks to get my blood work tested, and that was like a bit odd to me, but they just wanted to make sure my levels were continuously going up and to catch something early if they could, and they just continued to go up. And I finally got to go and have an ultrasound, and yeah, everything is grand and dandy, and that was like over 6 weeks ago now that I found out. And I'm just so blessed that everything so far is healthy and this little baby is growing. We actually went to the doctor's appointment yesterday, and the heart rate was 157, and you can hear like in the Doppler like the baby moving. So I'm just like so happy and finally allowing myself to be very excited about it. And yeah, but how I told Mason, I told you how I told Mason, but as far as our parents, we waited until I was about 8 to 10 weeks, and I just kind of told his mom. Me and his mom have a really good relationship, so we were just kind of sitting outside, and she actually offered me a glass of wine, and I was like, no, and usually I would never turn down a glass of wine, so she's like, what's up? So I kind of told her. And then as far as my parents, I just kind of brought it up that, hey, Blakelin's going to be a big sister, and yeah, everybody's really happy for us, and I'm very happy for us. But I feel like this should have been like a way longer story with much more details, but that's just how it ended up. That's how I found out I was pregnant. That's how I found important people. That's how I told the very important people in my life. But yeah, I'm sorry if this video was boring. I figured it would be a lot less. I don't know. But yeah, I had some definitely very exciting videos coming up to do with this pregnancy, since I'm so excited. And I didn't film. I remember thinking when I was pregnant with Blakely how fun it would be to be pregnant, or to have a YouTube channel and be pregnant, and I was just very insecure and not confident and just did not want anybody to know how to YouTube. And I'm just so glad that from the point I was now, I can't even talk. From the point I was then to now, I've just grown so much as a person and just don't care about anyone else. Like, I'm just living my own life, and I'm just happy because if I would have stayed in that mindset, it definitely would have stopped me from accomplishing a lot of things that I've always wanted to do, or that I just would be scared of doing. What's the fun of that, living like that? But enough of my rambling self. Be very excited for some exciting pregnancy related videos and just more videos from me. And I think that's about all. Bye.